So imagine you're a kid and you're playing with your dog normally, and suddenly, pew, pew, pew! Ah, I'm bleeding! I'm gonna die! Ah, ah, ah. It turns out you were shot by a cop. So, in response, your parents sue the cop. But the case gets dismissed on the basis of something called qualified immunity. Quote, in conclusion, we hold that Vickers is entitled to qualified immunity because at the time of the incident giving rise to this appeal, there was no clearly established law making it apparent to any reasonable officer in Vickers' shoes that his actions in firing at the dog and accidentally hitting you would violate the Fourth Amendment. Reversed and remanded. So, you may ask, what is qualified immunity, and how does it affect police accountability, and how does it relate to the current 2020 presidential election?
According to lawfare, qualified immunity is the judicially created doctrine that shields government officials from being held personally liable for constitutional violations. This means that qualified immunity protects government officials from being sued if what they're being sued for isn't clearly established in the court that it is definitively wrong. Qualified immunity has protected government officials from doing things that might sound like wrong and are wrong. Like, for example, it has protected police officers from tasing a pregnant woman because she wouldn't sign a parking ticket. It's also protected a jail warden from pepper spraying a inmate for no apparent reason.
Qualified immunity was first established in Pearson v. Ray by the Supreme Court in 1967, with 8 being the majority and 1 dissenting. Since 1967, qualified immunity has had a major impact on police accountability. In a study published in Yale Law Journal, approximately 64% of all cases in which qualified immunity has been raised were dismissed on that basis, meaning it has become an effective legal tool used by police. Qualified immunity is an issue that is on the ballot in 2020. Both candidates have expressed contradictory views regarding qualified immunity. So, here are the views of the candidates. The Trump administration and the Trump campaign have repeatedly defended qualified immunity, so we know that a second Trump term would not lead to the abolition of qualified immunity. On the other hand, the Democratic Party, as well as senior officials at the Biden campaign, have advocated against qualified immunity, meaning that a potential Biden administration would likely be anti-qualified immunity, or at least more hostile than the Trump administration.